I'm going to show you the page builder basics. Starting from the dashboard, you're going to click on Pages so you can see the list of all the web pages in your site. We're going to work on the home page, so scroll down to there. So when you hover your mouse over a page, you get a menu for each one. Page builder is the one we want to right click on and choose Open in New Tab. This makes it easier to come back to this page later. So this is the page builder. It looks just like the front end of your website, except you can edit it. You see when you move your mouse over any of the blocks here that a menu shows up. Your website is built up of a bunch of these rows and modules, aka blocks. For example, this section here is a full width row with a background image. You can kind of see the trees there. And in the middle is a block. It's a heading block. You see when you mouse over this block, you get these controls in the top corner. If you ever forget what the controls are, just hover your mouse and a little tooltip will pop up and tell you what they are. So you've got move, so you can click and drag and move this block somewhere else on the page. Heading sections, you click that and then you'll get a box pops up so you can edit that module. You can duplicate a block. You can change the columns, and you can delete a block. For example, this section here, you see one row, two columns. The right column has an image block, and the left column has multiple blocks. A couple are text, and some are images, and this last one is a button. Let's try changing some of the settings of this block. So you can click the wrench, or you can just click anywhere else in the block. It'll open up that box either way. This settings control box here has a little handle in the top corner. You can click and drag it somewhere else. Like right now, it's in the way. I kind of like to have this docked here in the right. So I click and drag it all the way over to the side and I'll drop it in there. And it'll stay there. Even if I'm not editing that particular module, I can see all my controls here. I'll mention that this makes it so that the page doesn't appear full width. So some stuff, if you have a really big heading, is now broken up on 2 lines. So if you ever want to view your work the same way that someone on the front, end of your website, meaning a website visitor who's not logged in, this is what they'd see full width. And I can bring back my controls by clicking this button, and I can see them there again. So to edit a block, you're going to hover over it and then click on it. You can either click the wrench or you can click in any area of it. This opens up the settings. The settings box has several tabs along the top, like General, Separator, Style, Advanced. General tab has most of the important stuff, such as the actual text that shows up in this heading block. And if you want to change some of the details, click on Style, and you can change the text color and padding and the typography if you want to change the font size, font family, and alignment. These options can also be found in the Visual Customizer, but those ones will apply to every heading across your entire website. But you can fine-tune that in any block if you want to change just a single block. You can come in here, go to Style, Typography, change the font settings. Let's cancel out of that. I'm going to scroll down and show you how to add some text. Let's take this section, because when we add the text, it'll be the wrong color. So we can change the color too. Let's add some text in between this heading and this button. Just for a basic block of text, choose the text editor. I'm going to click and drag it over here into the middle. Wherever I drop it is where it'll appear. So for example, I drop it below, it'll show up there. So let's drop it in between. It'll refresh and it gives us the option here. I've got some text already prepared, so I'm just going to copy this Latin filler text, copy and paste it into this text editor. I want to note that this text editor is very similar to what you'd see in a email editor or a Word document, where you've got this toolbar where you can bold, italics, make bulleted lists, and align things. And your keyboard shortcuts, if you know them, they work too. So if I want to bold this, I can highlight it and press Control B. Now that I've added this text, I can see here that it isn't the right color. That's a little bit hard to read. So I'm going to click on the Style tab and color. Let's change that color. So you can see the rainbow here, but Every template comes with color presets, and they'll match what your template is. And we usually put the darkest and the lightest colors in there, so it's easiest just to click and go. So I want to make this white. I'm going to click on this one, and now my text is the color that I want. And to get rid of this box, I just click outside of it. The typography, as we showed, you can change stuff like the font, the family, the size. You can drag this bar. Let's make that just a little bit bigger. I want that to be exactly 20, so I'll type that in manually. And let's say I want to align it into the center. Very nice. You have other controls here, such as style and spacing and text shadow. So explore those, and you can really fine-tune how it appears on your site. When you're done, click Save. This will fade, meaning that it's going to refresh, and now you can see what the site looks like. And again, you can click this button to go full width if you want. Lastly, let's preview how this looks on the front end of the site. Even though the page builder is a visual builder, so you can see what the page looks like when you build it, there are some things that only show up when you're previewing the page. And you can do that by pressing the keyboard shortcut P, or by clicking the menu and choosing Preview Layout. So you'll see right away that this animation appears. The animations usually don't show in the page builder. The preview layout is a great way to see those as you scroll down, see what everything looks like, full width, no controls in the way, and here are our new changes. While we're in the preview layout, I want to show that these controls in the top corner control whether it's mobile, tablet, or desktop. And as you can see right here, the preview layout also includes stuff like pop-ups and slide-ins if you have them enabled. So this template has an exit intent pop-up, meaning when my mouse leaves the window, like I'm going to close it, then it says a message before they leave, and that'll show up. So you can see that in the preview layout as well, but we're not editing that right now. So right now it's the desktop preview. Click here, we get the tablet preview, and lastly the mobile preview as well. Good, so we're just going to click continue editing. Let's say that we're done and we want to exit. Of course we want to save, so we're going to click done. It gives you the options to discard, save as draft, or publish, which is what we're going to do. Now it saves and it refreshes on the front end of your page. Here you have the live page and your admin toolbar at the top. If you want to go back to your dashboard, you can just click here. If you have your domain name already set, like you've added your custom domain name, then you may not see this admin bar, in which case that's why we want to open in a new tab. We want to right click, open a new tab, and the page builder is there. So when you're done, you can just close that tab and you're back to the dashboard. Nice and easy. I also want to show you how to add a new heading. So let's delete this heading to make space for the new one. It's going to ask me to confirm. Yes. And this is the row left behind. I'm going to get rid of that too, so it looks like there was no heading there at all. So instead of clicking and dragging, we're going to do a search this time to show you how to do that. Click the magnifying glass button, the search button, and type in what you're looking for. I'm looking for a heading. And you see we have multiple options. What I want to point out is that we have two types of modules or blocks: standard modules and ultimate add-on modules. That's what this stands for here, ultimate add-ons. So we have a heading that's a basic, yet we also have an ultimate add-on heading, which is the one I'm going to choose. The difference is that ultimate add-on modules have more options. So if I have the choice, I'm going to choose the one that gives me more bells and whistles. Even if I don't use them, it's nice to know that they're there. So I click and drag that block into where I want to drop it. And it looks like the last tab that I had open was separator. So I'm going to click on general, and I can see my two options here. I've got heading. Type in something new heading text, and we've got the subheading. That's optional, but we'll add it here. And click on style, and we're going to change the color of those so that they show up a lot better. Make it white. Click outside the box to close it. And the next Next, I want to do the description. We'll make that white as well. And save. I guess one thing we'll want to adjust is the size of that. So we're going to go back in. Heading. Now, the HTML tag shows what size of heading it is, H1 being the biggest and H6 being the smallest. That one looks a little too big. Let's try H2. H2 looks like a good size, maybe just slightly too big, and we can fine tune it by going to the font. That looks good. And let's close that and go to the description. And we'll make that just a little bit bigger. Save. Okay. That's it for this tutorial. Be sure to watch the rest of the Quick Start videos.